Good morning. Today on Business Success in 6 with Stacie, I have Mike and Joe Goralski here from Jewelry Mechanics in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Thank you for coming on today with me.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
It's my pleasure. You have a great reputation, your business does. And if you don't mind, I would love to ask you 6 questions about Jewelry Mechanic. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here we go. When people ask you what Jewelry Mechanic does, how do you describe your business?
I describe it by saying we create dreams. We can repair anything. We can take an old piece and make it brand new again to the where they come in and they say, wow, I never realized how beautiful like that piece could look. And that's how we sell ourselves, because we can go places and people constantly ask, what kind of work do you do? Well, we do custom work, we do restoration work, and we do imagination. Imagination meaning we create something that you want. You don't know how to express it.
I have a feeling.
But that feeling, Joe is very good at. She can sit with clients for 2-3 hours. She can sit with a client for a half hour, and it could be 5 meetings after that when they finally come up with something that they want, what their desires are. So that's the description, is we create dreams.
Yeah, this is what I want. Yeah. Most have a feeling.
Interesting. Yeah. And creating dreams and making those dreams come true. That's such a special business that you have. So what were your plans when you started your business? I know you've been in business, did you say over 20 years? 27 years. So what were your plans when you started, and how has that changed?
Well, we were going to have a little jewelry store. You know, we were both working a half hour different directions, and we'd come home, homework, dinner, bath, repeat. And we decided, let's pick a small town and live and work there and open a jewelry store. You know, every town had a jewelry store. Well, then every department store had a jewelry department, and then discount stores had a jewelry department, and then club stores hit. And still we had our niche. We had our clientele. And then this thing, you might have heard of it, the internet happened. And so then compounded with the Great Recession, which really took us all out by the knees. So at the Great Recession, there were over 60,000 of us, independents, small mom and pop, small manufacturers. So that's 60,000. At the end of 2021, there weren't 18,000 of us. Wow. Our industry is decimated. We're aging out for so long. Parents want their kids to have college debt, not a skill or a trade. So that's one of the issues we're dealing with now. So after the Great Recession, we decided, simple downtown jewelry store is kind of stupid. Retail is basically dead. Everybody shops their phone. So let's be just exactly what we always wanted to be, which is a custom design studio. We do thousands of repairs a year, and we've really found our niche because, like I've said, nobody knows we're here till you need us, but once you need us, nobody else will do. Because I had a woman who told me, I've been to 3 designers. I want to use my diamond, but nobody will use it. It's too old. I said, at the very youngest, it's 900 million years old. What's their point? So we are respectful of our clients and their design. We've used baby teeth, horse hair, elk ivory. We've got a piece we're doing with the roaring bones from a lion's throat right now. So yeah, we do all that. So that's how things have greatly changed.
Right.
That's incredible. How did you actually learn this skill?
Well, I was working for the Miller Brewing Company, and I thought I had a lifetime job, but I was replaced by a robot, which really made me think, what do I do now?
In the 80s.
And this was back in the 80s.
Nobody heard about robots then.
And so I had put Joe through school to become an accountant, and she felt it was her destiny to train me in something that I would like to do. So when I told her I wanted to become a jeweler or a goldsmith, she said, in the 10 years that we've been together, you have never, ever mentioned that. And I said, well, I really liked it in high school and I liked it in college. So maybe this is the time to do it, even with 2 young daughters. So,
and a mortgage.
So went off to METC, learned my craft, and have honed my craft through many other great people in this industry who have taught me well.
Wow. I have goosebumps right now. That's incredible that you followed your dream and that you supported each other through that. That's really special.
Isn't that what life's about?
Yeah.
It definitely should be. Yeah, I wish more people would focus on that, but
And
that's
I don't give her enough praise for what she does. She really runs this company and she holds my tether. Sometimes lets it go and brings it right back. But without the strength of Joe,
One of these days, I'm just going to let it go, but that's a whole other interview.
That is so fun. So what is the biggest way you impact the community? Obviously, you're bringing dreams alive. Can you share a little bit more about ways you impact the community?
Well, we're a small town jewelry store, so everybody that's anybody wants a donation for their golf outing, their church fundraiser, their everybody hits us, and then we're happy to help. But one way we have found is we get 3 to 5 boxes of what's real, what's not. Every family has this box of jewelry and they have no idea what's real. So we will go through it for them for a cash donation for the food pantry.
Wow.
For from their heart. There's no like, if I do this many pieces, it costs you this much. It's we find people in the community are very generous and they want to help. They're just not good at sourcing how to do that. But if you give them a direction and a focus, they'll step right into it. We have a big blackboard behind our counter and it says that we collect egg cartons for the food pantry. Area farmers will donate eggs, but when we started this 10 years ago, egg cartons were 48 to 50 cents a piece and the farmers wouldn't pay for it. The food pantry has not had to buy an egg carton in over a decade because the community just fills
I'll
up.
bet you we've collected over 8,000.
Oh my God, so
At
many.
least.
The shop piles up.
Yeah.
And then we also do free watch batteries for first responders and veterans. And if you give a Vietnam vet a watch battery and tell them thank you, they almost always cry because nobody has said thank you, let alone giving them something for it. It's like, dude, it's a battery. Yeah, but you don't understand. Yeah, I grew up in the 70s, 60s and 70s. I do understand. So we find the little ways like that we can help. And then we especially support the free clinic and the arts center just for our arts.
Yeah.
So you just keep giving me goosebumps. That's seriously beautiful. Thank you for all that you're doing for the community in so many different ways, from environmental to social, emotional ways. And that, yeah, thank you for
We're
that.
tree huggers, you know.
I love it. Absolutely.
Can't help it.
What is one challenge you have faced that other business owners can learn from?
Recessions come out of nowhere.
Right.
You know, there's all the mumbling of this recession. They were thinking maybe there would be a recession back in 08. We felt it May of 07. Boom. Ladies stopped buying gold jewelry. And then it just was a slippery slope. So we've had the 1997 recession, the 2002 recession. We didn't know because we were a young business and we thought that was just part of growth. And we didn't have cable TV. Now we know when they're coming by a mile. The Great Recession took us out at the knees. We weren't prepared. We had debt and we didn't have a plan for restructuring. And there was, I mean, I thought COVID was going to be bad, but COVID was kind of baby work compared to the Great Recession. So always be prepared, have some cash put away, pay the government, pay the bank, pay your vendors, pay yourselves, and be prepared. So when COVID happened, you know, we were shut down for 9 weeks and that was a little scary, but nothing like we had to cash in our 401k for the Great Recession to stay alive. So those are the hardest things. And just because it's in your cash register doesn't mean it's yours.
Right.
Those are
Put your tax money to the side because the government can take everything you have, not just what you own.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for all of that. That's very, very good information. So what does the future look like for Jewelry Mechanic? And do you have
we found out during the COVID time that we could not be home together.
Well,
we were home together, but we found out that retirement would not be
for us.
So we're going to stick to this as long as we can. I mean, we're both getting up in our years, but I look at it this way. I knew an old jeweler. He was 99 when he passed away, but every day he went to his store, even though his children had taken over. He went to that store because he was their handshaker, their greeter, the guy who swept the sidewalk, the guy who took time to talk to everybody. And he was well loved and respected because of that. And not only was he good at that. He was good at the job that he had.
And it kept him
And
alive.
it kept him alive.
Yeah.
It kept going. And that's what we should all expect. in our
Human
lives.
contact, and
Right on.
everybody walking in the door needs help. Fix this or create this,
Right.
or hey, can we just talk? We've had people come in and just talk 45 minutes. Oh my God, I don't know why I just told you all that. Because you trust me, I'm your jeweler and I don't know anybody you're talking about, so I can't share your story, but you got all those words out. And to just the 9 weeks of sitting home was like, oh, boring. Here we're busy every single day. We have interesting people, things to do, projects. Our shop guy, the guy that works with us, he's been with us for 9 years, and he'll take the shop. Nobody in the family. We have satellite people. So our daughter is a graduate gemologist. She does all of our appraisal work. Her husband was with us for 7 years, but he started his own business. He does weaponry engraving, guns, swords, knives.
He's really,
And he's
really
really good. So they're not interested in doing the retail or the design, but our bench guy is. So it'll really be his decision whether Jewelry Mechanic carries on. But Mike named this company when he was in school. And there was a project, what would you name it? So thank God it's Jewelry Mechanic, not Gralski Diamonds.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's
Hard to move that
that's a
on.
lot harder to sell. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's incredible. I love the fact that you can totally work together very well outside of the house, and it's a whole different dynamic at home, but it sounds
it
like
is.
it's working out great, and I love that.
And working with your wife, or even working with your husband, and we've done it for 20 plus years.
for our 20th anniversary, we decided let's spend every moment of the rest of our lives together. And that was 27 years ago. So
Yeah, going on 49 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Love it. My final question for each of you is, all subjects open, what inspires you most?
I guess for me, young people, because we just had some Girl Scouts or brownies in over the
they're
weekend.
Girl
They were here on Sunday. And there was such nervousness amongst them as to what we were going to do and what we were going to talk about. And Joe started by giving an introduction as to why we do what we do and how it can influence other people, and why not get into art or art expression. So many parents want to push their children into becoming a college educated person when that really isn't necessary.
Sports in school, when they're little artists at heart, let their little art soul shine.
And each one of them was nervous in their own way. I had to take them in the back, and they did water castings. It's where one of the girls got to hold a torch and the other girl got to hold a crucible and melt silver and then dump it into swirling water to come up with a really cool design.
It's the science of solid, liquid, solid.
Right.
And then they get a cool silver piece at the end. So.
And one of them came back and she said, well, I'm not going to do that. She says, I don't want to get burned. And I said, well, she can hold the torch and then you can hold this piece and you won't get burned. All you have to do is watch the metal, and when it becomes liquid, pour it. And right after that, she says, now can I hold the torch? I said, but I thought you were nervous. Well, I didn't know it was going to be this much fun. So, and that was really interesting.
Yeah.
But as far as the future goes,
kids are very inspiring.
Right, you can be anything you want in this life. You just have to decide what it is that you want to do. It's not what other people think you should do. Try to be your own person.
We tell people, they'll say, well, how are you doing? Living the dream. What does that mean?
Right.
Well, in 92, we decided we weren't going to keep doing the same old thing. We're going to pick a small town and live and work there and be very Andy and Mayberry. We live 4 miles up the road. Our daughter's married brothers. They live in the building. 3 of our 6 grandkids are still here with us every day.
With that.
And that's what inspires us, is mostly the youth. We just saw a thing where we're going to get rid of soap bottles because this kid came up with little sheets of paper that hold the whole load of laundry on a little like sticky note sized piece of paper. Or the chick that's making old glass back into sand and saving the Gulf Coast. I mean, that's very inspiring. But in our jewelry design, it's nature. We have this series, it's flower in nature rings mostly. We've done some pendants, but it's kind of a cliquey club now. If you get one of Mike's garden pieces, I was handing out the like 5th or 6th one, and I said, I've been sleeping with you for over 40 years and I don't have one of these. And he said, but they have money and you don't. I said, okay, that's valid. But in 2019, he finally made me my garden ring, and it won top division of the state design or the Midwest design competition.
I kept saying, why don't you show people this? Why don't you share this? And she says, because I want to go into this contest.
You can't show pieces if you're gonna put them in competitions.
Sure.
But that's what inspires us, nature. We were primitive,
Primitive
very
campers.
rustic campers for over 40 years, and just carrying our gear into the woods and setting camp for 2 weeks and living on a lake that has nothing but eagles and osprey. And it's very soul calming, and that's what we do. We don't go to, my brother was always, come to Europe, see the cathedrals. My cathedrals are mountains or woods. We work retail, so we kind of get away from people when we get that opportunity, and we can work forever because we put a sign on our door, this family business is doing family business, and we'll be back, and we say the date. And nobody ever yells at us for having our personal time. So
that's so great.
I
love that.
Very strongly supported by the community, but we also know we need to maintain our marriage and our personal mental health to be able to do this kind of creative work.
Right on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Mike and Joe, thank you so much for your time today. Now, if somebody wants to check out your family business when you're not doing family business, how would they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Well, they are always welcome to call, but they can message us through Jewelry Mechanics Facebook page. That comes to my phone. We're very readily available. In fact, when we want to go out to eat, we have to go to another town because if I take my husband out anywhere around here, it's Mike, can you look at my ring? Or, oh, you guys, and they'll stand over us and talk. So we're very easy to find and get a hold of. Like I said, we live 4 miles up the road, and we're listed in the phone book still with a landline. So we're around. And
well, thank you so much.
And thank you,
Stacie.
Appreciate it.
It was fun. And hey, we Zoomed.
Nice job. Absolutely.
Zoom.
You are not old. You've got so much youth and vitality, just vibrance. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.